Retablos are sophisticated Andean folk art in the form of wooden boxes filled with brightly colored figures arranged into intricate narrative scenes. From the 16th to the 19th centuries, retablos were carried through the mountains by Spanish priests as portable religious shrines. Later they were adapted by the indigenous people to include their own deities and mythologies. Nicario's work depicts religious, historical, and everyday events important to the inhabitants of the highlands of Peru. He created his poignant scenes from a dowdy mixture of boiled potato and gypsum powder.
This looks like to be a bar popular andino. Popular bar in the Andes, and look at all these folks in there for a Saturday evening fiesta. This one shows a jungle scene with all types of birds, monkeys, cheetahs, all the way down to crocodiles and turtles. Nicario, this is beautiful artwork.
Thank you.
How long have you been coming to Sausalito?
This is my 9 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it must be a good show for you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a good show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm coming from Florida.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from Naples, Florida. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm originally from Peru.
Uh-huh. And this artwork, Peruvian artwork, you find very popular in everywhere.
Yeah, because this is called retablo. The original name is dioramas.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I learned it from my grandfather, the technique.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He discovered the technique of boiled potatoes mixed with plaster first.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he did it on a religious theme. I did it.
Uh-huh.
Expanding, I'm doing different this year.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Well, and you have so many themes. It's almost unlimited, huh?
Yeah, the jungle, the bar. Yeah, I do different.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, now I use mixed media. I use wood and plaster, potatoes, wire, paper, everything.
Sure. And about what the price range basically from cheapest to high?
250 up.
Uh-huh. These pieces are giant. These pieces are made out of steel. This piece is standing probably 15 feet high, made out of steel. What fantastic pieces of dynamic sculpture. How did you come up with an idea like that?
Well, animals move.
Have you been to Sausalito before?
I think we went here last year, and I believe we might have been here the year before, I'm not sure.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
But this show's been a great show already. It just opened up.
Uh-huh. How nice, how nice. About how long does it take to do one of these pieces?
Usually from beginning to end, like this rooster here was done by hand. This sculpture probably took about 4 to 5 weeks to make.
I see. I see.
And it moves in the wind. Anytime the wind blows, the cock crows.
Now, are they balanced on a ball bearing, or are they just balanced on?
Actually, they're balanced on a stainless steel roller bearing.
Okay.
In other words, it actually rolls back and forth. It's not like a ball bearing.
Well, David, this is an amazing piece here. Now, could you describe a little bit of the process that goes into making something like this?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. This sculpture is called Dive Through a Challenge, and it was inspired by Robert Shapiro's nonprofit foundation. His son, Brent Shapiro, died of a drug and alcohol overdose. And I went to a party, and it was a fundraising party, and I was moved by the idea of this foundation and how people have to get through these different challenges. So this diving form is representing how we as people have to get through these challenges, and the spiral is this fragile glass that is sort of a symbol for getting through these problems that we have to encounter.
Well, and very, very well rendered. Now, a piece like this, for an uninitiated member of the public, what is this worth? I mean, how much does it cost?
This one's $7,500.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And how do I get it from you to me? Do you come and deliver it, or?
It would depend on how far you live.
Uh-huh.
So I ship these all over, and I'll send a son to set them up if need be, or typically I'll be installing these pieces within a day's drive of the show.
Uh-huh. How long does it take to make something like this?
It might take 6 to 8 weeks, something like that, start to finish, if I can devote all my time to it.
Uh-huh. And how long have you been doing stuff like this?
Since I was, right out of school, right out of grade school, I started.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted to be a sculptor.
Kind of bad for the eyes, right?
Not good for the eyes.
Not good for the eyes. You got 3-day shift or just 1 day?
Just today.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Well, the Acton Agua Dulce News is here at the Sausalito Art Festival. And what's your first impression of it?
Actually, it's almost a little overwhelming.
Yeah?
The quality is #1 in every field, every medium.
Uh-huh.
The professionalism, it's billed as the biggest art show in America, and I can see why. It's really a privilege to be able to be an artist and to be part of it, because they have to audition, but the work is unbelievable. I'd come again.
Here I put a texture on using a toothbrush and resin. Flick on a little texture. Or I could use different textures, sculpting part of it and casting part of it. I use prosthetic eyes, real eyelashes, and everything else except these fancy shorts are polyester resin. These I got out of the thrift shop. Once I have the mold, I make a polyester resin cast, and that's what that is. It's plastic, polyester resin. Then all I do is paint it by hand, not airbrush. There's a 000 brush, a magnifying glass, artist oil paint, and put the veins, the freckles, the moles, all the different imperfections. The painting takes almost as long as doing the sculpture. You see the color changes, the freckles, the moles, all the different imperfections on there.
And you paint all that on. So that takes some patience and some attention to detail.
Attention to detail, that would be a secret, yeah. The true life right down to the fingerprints. When I was younger, we'd always say, "What are you doing, digging a hole in China?" So now I find out, after I do the sculpture, if you draw a straight line between Sausalito, straight through the earth, it comes up in Beijing.
Okay.
Or China somewhere. I don't know.
All right.
So he's coming from the other direction now.
All right.
And
he's got a map here that's got Sausalito on it.
Sausalito map, yeah. He's looking for your job.